Hey, what's up? My name's David, and today we're going to be reviewing a track called Murphy's MX in Central Texas. It's located in Red Rock, Texas, which is not too far outside of Austin. I know a lot of people from San Antonio and even Houston travel to Murphy's to ride it. It's a pretty cool track, and let's dive into it. I've been going to Murphy's for a while now. It was the first actual motocross track I went to about 5-ish years ago, but I've been consistently riding there for 2 years now, and I've really gotten a good overview of it, and I just wanted to share my experience with other people who are thinking about riding there or riding there more often. Let's talk about how it's run. It's ran by a family. They seem to be very kind. My first time flagging was actually at Murphy's, and the owner came up to me and showed me how to do it properly and made sure I was doing everything correctly. I had a project for econ that was about business, and I decided to do it on a motocross track, and there's some information that I couldn't find online, so I shot them a text message, and within a couple hours they gave me the information I needed to know. They seem to be very kind people, and it seems like they care more about the community more than anything. Let's talk about the main track. The main track, it's pretty decent sized track. It's very beginner friendly. They do have kids time every now and then, so that's a great thing, especially if you're brand new to riding or if you have a kid. But all the jumps are pretty beginner friendly. They kind of shoot you more forward than they do up, and as if you're a newer rider, you're just gonna learn a lot more and build confidence. They do change up some stuff pretty often. They I would say about once a month. They do a really good job at keeping the insides just as rewarding as the outsides, and kind of make them similar speeds. So if you're somebody who can rail an outside, you'll do pretty good, and if you're somebody who can hit a good rut on the inside, it's pretty good. So I like how they do that, because if you change up lines, it's going to be about the same, and you can really build your confidence and build yourself up as a rider at this track. I like how on this track there's split lanes, which allow you, if you're faster, you can go hit some of the bigger jumps on the different lane, and really allows for different skill levels to really enjoy this track. Now talking about the prep, this track does hold water better than the other tracks on the property, or the other track on the property, especially because of the shade. It can hold in a decent amount of water throughout the day. It does get dry usually in the summer by the end of the day, but definitely in the mornings you can get a good solid track that's nice, and the dirt's moist and everything feels good. The dirt here is pretty good, especially in the morning when it's watered. It's almost like chocolate cake style. It's just really good. But later in the evening you kind of get that it's not sand, but it gets that sandiness and then hard packed, but it's really good especially compared to other tracks nearby. This track has perfect soil. The night track is a pretty cool small track. Obviously it's called the night track for a reason. There's lights on it, and sometimes they'll do Friday nights, mostly usually camping only, but when they don't, it's pretty fun. It's always open when the main track's open pretty much, and it's very beginner friendly. A lot of the beginners will be out there, and as you can see in the video, I get hung up by some of them. So if you're expecting to go out there and go real fast, there's usually going to be some slower people, maybe some kids out there, but it's still a fun track when kids time is on the main. They usually keep this track open to anybody all day, but it's pretty fun. They prep it enough usually for inside ruts to form, and it's just a really good place to learn. One of the downsides to the night track is that it does get pretty dried out quickly, so if you want to ride the night track when it's in good shape, get there in the morning. The trails are alright. I mean, it's just, at the end of the day, it's just trails, and I think they're pretty long, and they have different split lanes, so that's pretty nice. I'm not the biggest trail person, but that definitely scratched the itch for me that day. And I mean, if you're a trail type of person, they're pretty fun. There's a little bit of elevation, and it was a bit challenging, so I had a great time. They charge $35, which is pretty good, because they could easily get away with charging something like $40. This track also has restrooms, which is pretty nice. They have nice porta potties. They also have a lot of parking, especially parking with shade, which is nice in Texas. if you're a beginner, it's probably better if you come in the afternoon because there's usually not that many people there, and the track is already packed down, and so you'll just have like a better learning experience because you kind of sometimes you can even get the track to yourself, which is pretty nice. But yeah, or in the very morning. They say they open at 9, but usually everything's ready to go before 9, so you can kind of beat the crowd and get out there on the track before other people do, and you can also get the track to yourself that way too. Since this is a track review, I have to give it a rating, and my rating overall for all types of riders for this track is a 7.5. When I rate something, I'm usually pretty harsh on it. I take a lot of things into consideration, and I give it a 7.5 just because people that are really fast aren't gonna have as good of a time on this track as other tracks. It'll be a little bit more challenging, and for that reason, I give it a 7.5. But for somebody like a beginner, this track is probably somewhere around a 9.8. It is absolutely perfect for somebody who's from brand new to about like 3 years into riding. This track is perfect for you. You'll have a lot of fun out here, but that once you kind of get into like a little bit faster, you kind of you're searching for something just a little bit more challenging than this track, and then especially with beginners being there, they can kind of get in your way. I wouldn't drive too much further than an hour and a half one way to this track. Just for me, I'm really weird with time. Some people are like, all right, driving 3 hours to the track, and that's just not me. If I'm driving 3 hours to a track, I'm gonna be staying there for a couple days. I can barely take driving 2 hours in one direction for Cycle Ranch, which is, one of the best tracks, maybe even in the world, but definitely in Texas. And yeah, just with me, I wouldn't drive much more than an hour and a half. But for a lot of people, it's different, so. For the rest of the video, I'm just going to show you the rest of the trails and a complete lap on the night track just so you can get like a full understanding of what's out there.
fresh out here.